what's up guys? So we finished the job this morning. It's kind of rainy outside, but we're working around the shop, we're working around it. And I'm here in the office and just kind of getting geared up. We're actually about to head out, Jack and I right now, to plant a garden and then stake a tree for my friend Rihanna and Mark. So check it out, here is my kind of whiteboard of love. And these are actually projects and work stuff right now. But you know, new members and like Sylvia, like we got to deliver soil. We just finished this. I got to get these out this week. This is where we're going today, Sharon Wax. So we did the install. And now we're going to do the planting. And then we'll be done with that one. Cool, and I saw Sarah today. She's awesome. She has a cool vision. She wants to start like a farmer's market out here and just do it big. And really like is all about it, like wants help like designing it right. So that's what we're gonna do. But let's get Sharon's garden planted and stake my buddy's tree, and we'll see where we get to. Check this out. Seek clarity, generate energy, raise necessity, increase productive quality output, develop influence, demonstrate courage, probably the most important, and then live in a peak state. Live always in a peak state. So. It's microscopic, so it's just subliminal. You're just like, oh my God. Oh, check this out real quick. This is Sarah's design. I just met with her. She literally wants to do a big garden and then food forest stuff in here and then ducks and really sustainable. And you could see they cleared it out because it was all invasive peppers. So we got a survey, so we're gonna design it and yeah, just excited to keep doing it. You know, so many people want help with this. Like, can only do so much, but we're doing as much as we can, and we're really trying to just plant and show people the models. Check this out, dude. We were in the studio this weekend. Beatbox with acoustic. Yeah. I want to like speed it up a little. You know? Yeah, so we're working on some cool stuff. All right, let's get out of here. Hey guys, we're out here. We're gonna get to planting. Good thing we have all these plants ready to go. All right, cool. The guys worked on this job yesterday and this morning. The irrigation was giving us some problems, but they're fixed and plants are going in the ground. And then, yeah, tomorrow we got 2 down the way and the guys will start on that. Once we get the plants in, you know, we're on to the next. Cool, so we just got here and I could tell they fertilized, so we're in business. I'm gonna plant these. This is kind of all we really do in summertime, like maybe okra, maybe sweet potatoes. It's peppers, some herbs, eggplant. Those are the summer crops, and then spinach. And then in a couple months, we're gonna come in and pop in a cherry tomato, pop in some carrot rows, arugula. So let's put these in the ground. This one right here is Gallardia. No, you don't eat this. It's a cut flower / it provides really good habitat for good pests that eat the bad pests. So we like to always plant like one of these in the garden if people are into it, because it provides beauty and it's also really healthy for like the other plants, you know? We put a little thing that says blanket flower, you know, Gallardia. They could go and look into it and see about it. So anyways, this one's a pepper. It's a little leggy. We might just top it. These really do well. It's a cooking pepper, a sweet pepper. Chives do really well. We're gonna add in more herbs. We're picking up more plants tomorrow, so we're gonna add in a basil and some sage and some, you know, all sorts of parsley, Italian flat leaf. She said they wanted some strawberries, so these will pop up during kind of New Year's. Some spinach in the back. Spinach zone. To all the spinach zone community members. All right, so here's a hot pepper. She got really excited when I busted this out. So these do really well, these Jamaican Scotch bonnets. Be a big hot pepper. So put this right in the back. And she wants cherry tomatoes, but just like a little too early. We're gonna start them here soon. And we'll get into the winter crops. So it's fun. People get to really feel the seasons when they do these veggie gardens. They really understand like, oh, you can't do arugula when it's 100 degrees. So you learn to appreciate the seasons way more and tune in, you know? So anyways, we got more room for herbs. Like we're gonna do that herbs run. Eggplant, this one really does its thing. during summertime, we have some clients that are getting like half a dozen every other week, and they can make like a dinner each week, and they have like 4 kids. Kind of cool off one plant. Do the math, that's pretty good. Like 6 big eggplants. Little rosemary start to grow. I'll probably start some greens up here. And just like that, we planted the garden. Done. This is a really beautiful space. Their daughter Monica, I know from the green markets, and she's been asking about this for a long time, and she finally just hit us up. She's like, hey, we're ready. So we finally did it, you know? And now she's got a garden. We like to max out the garden. We don't have a ton of plants, like summertime, we don't have a ton of plants. But in 1 month from now, we'll have like everything, you know, we'll be seeding like carrots and like, you know, beans. We'll be doing all that stuff. It feels good to serve. It feels good to give. There's a reason like monks just meditate and like clean all day, and it's like the meaning of life is just like serving, you know. But anyways, serving, let's go clean this wall. Just one simple swipe. The guys were dirty, so we're cleaning it up, which I'm happy to do. You know, we never want to leave no trace. I learned a long time ago is the backpacking way. Leave no trace. You leave a campsite, you don't leave your prints all over the place, or your Twizzler wrappers. I used to mop the floor at night at boarding school. Like, it was like a thing. Once you're there like long enough or whatever, had privileges, you could mop the school and get like hot chocolate if you were lucky. So we would mop the school at night, and I got pro at it. And speaking of serving, you know, that's why I don't mind doing this. Like, I'm happy to, because it just brings you right back down to earth where you're supposed to be, you know. Scrubbing the wall. I kind of feel zen and peace, like even mopping to this day. It's like a flow, you know. There's something so zen about that, just, you know, serving. Stefan's all about that too. I am a master, and I know nothing. I'm a servant, and I know something. A man of the people's where it's at. There's status games, and then there's infinite games. I don't play status games. That's a zero-sum game, which basically means there's only enough status out there for people to be like, oh, you got nice shoes, you got nice whatever. You have to put another person down in order to get status. That's what a zero-sum game is. There's only that much status. With infinite games, with abundance, when you step into a world of a positive sum game where there's enough for everybody, then it starts to fade away what people's shoes look like or whatever, because it's irrelevant. We learning lessons, we got plant investments, we got the blessings. We did a pretty good job, I think. Gonna make sure the irrigation works, and then we're riding. Dope, so we're just gonna run it manually. That means it's on. Beautiful. Wow. See, not all technology is bad. Cool, so we just finished up and we're on to the next. We out. What's up, guys? So my friends Rhiannon and Mark just reached out, and they actually need help with their tree, staking it or just giving it some love. They had me plant this chocolate pudding fruit a couple of months ago, and it might be like a year ago now. Yeah, we're gonna prune it and kind of manicure it, maybe come back with some mulch, but here we go. So the first thing I'll do is prune it, and look at this. It's like always like suffocating the tree, you know. You know, put it on like a nicer limb. Cool, and then I get rid of all these old things that are suffocating it, and I start to prune. So check it out, you kind of want to open it up. Yeah, these trees are tough, man. They do get some damage, like the weevil or whatever, you could see it. They eat the new growth kind of every spring, which is annoying, but it grows out of it super quick. It makes this fruit like Christmas time. December they start fruiting, and it tastes like chocolate pudding or chocolate mousse. It's so good. And I told Mark that, and he's like, I need to have one. So we planted one for him. I don't see any fruit set, because you know by now you'd see the fruit. Hopefully next year it has a bunch of fruit. Kind of like to open it up a little. So check it out, pruning. I heard the word pruning for the first time when I was in Italy, and we were working in the olive trees. And she was like, oh, I gotta go out and prune, I gotta prune. I'm like, what is prune? I didn't even know what that word was. And it basically just means to trim, to cut back. So with fruit trees, I guess it's a gardening term that instead of like chopping back, you prune, you do it strategically, you know, where fruits properly the next year and grows better and kind of is opened up so there's no disease or the wind doesn't take it down. So it's a lot of factors and every tree's different. I learned she went out there and started cutting the olives back, and that's how I knew, like, you know, pruning's like an art in itself. So I love to do it with these tropical trees. Some it doesn't matter so much, and some you really want to do it right, like mangoes and stuff are like that. You could really do it really strategically and get a lot of fruit. You can see this is actually where the flowers were, and it never set. And I'm seeing that more and more. My buddy from the other coast, he was telling me, he was like, I'm not seeing fruit set on this either. And I'm having the same thing. So if anybody knows how to get these fruit to set better, let me know, because the one at the farm too, the last 2 years, makes a bunch of flowers and hasn't set fruit. So could just be pollinators or the seasons. So that's where the flower was, and it dropped and it didn't make fruit. Usually the fruit will be on here until December. So I know I'd be like, oh my God, there's 20 fruit, or there's not any that's set, which is this case, you know. But fruit trees are a long play. So it's like, you know, this could be loaded in 3 years. So you can't give up before the miracle happens. We did have flowers though. That's a good sign for being a year or two old. So just open it up a little bit and really just get rid of those. You see where those bands were? You see it like kind of hurts the tree. So that's why they bring us in, to come in and just kind of look at it a little closely. I mean, it's real simple, but some people are scared to cut back or touch the tree, you know, which I get. But it's just like, I mean, cutting your nails or something. It helps the process. All right, now that we opened it up a little bit, I'm just gonna tip it, kind of get it to branch out more. You know, you just do this little top part. This black sapote is not the best one to show for pruning. Here's more flowers. So it's flowering again. Cool, man. They get bigger too, and then there's a big ball that forms when it gets pollinated, and that's the fruit. And inside tastes like chocolate. All right, we trimmed it back. Now let's stake it. Let's get out of here. It's a pretty tree, right? Tools for the job. You gotta be careful in these lot lines. Cool, so if I just zip tie it lightly, I can come back in a couple months and just make sure it's sturdy at that, more straight up. Good thing I brought zip ties. Again, lightly, if you do this, like, you shouldn't really use zip ties, but you see how light I did that? Like, this isn't going anywhere, but at least it could have all that space to grow in the next couple months, and then in the wind, it won't get knocked off course. But the idea is you want to take this off, you know, because this will strangle it like you saw in those other ones. I just use these because I have like 1,000 of them. And this guy's on its way, staked. And really what we need to do is come back and mulch this, and we'll see if she wants us to kind of take care of it and make sure it could stay protected. When you see new growth, it means happy plant. So it's way bigger than it was a year ago, I'll tell you that. Very nice. This was mulch. I mulched it a year ago. Look at it. There's nothing now, but you got to remulch. You mulch it so it keeps the moisture in, and when it's dry, it can receive water from that like sponge of moisture. It keeps the weeds down, and it also protects kind of from the weed whacker guys coming close to your tree, and that's kind of the main reason, because those guys will get close and like hit the tree if you do an island of mulch. Keeps them off. So anyways, and another reason is it feeds the tree organic nutrients. So those are all really positive things. So mulch does all those things. Bare ground will just bring in these weeds. So these grasses. So dump a big bucket of mulch on this guy. Fruiting in no time. Cool guys, so that's the black sapote chocolate pudding fruit tree. Stake this tree, you know, just another stop. We actually next month have like, you know, 20 different spots. I think in August is the time where we hit all the fruit trees and kind of make sure they're still looking good and whatnot. It's fun to go back and kind of see what trees, how they're doing, which ones are fruiting, and yeah, so I'm excited. This was a one-off stop. She called me up. So I love doing this, pruning the trees, and yeah, hope you guys learned a thing or two, and we'll see you next time.